Hey, what's up everybody? Oz here. This is a 91 kill game using low streaks, and I'm playing on the map Plaza using my trusty MTAR assault rifle. Really goes in. I actually recommend this score streak setup, the UAV, the Hunter Killer, and the Lightning Strike. If you like to be very aggressive, I love using Hunter Killers and Lightning Strikes because it keeps the enemy pushed back. Even if you go on short 3 to 5 kill streaks, you're going to end up getting some type of score streak, which will help suppress the enemy and allows you to put a lot of pressure on them. So definitely recommend this. I recommend the UAV over the Hellstorm missile on maps that are pretty complicated. Plaza is a pretty complicated map. There's a lot of different flank routes, and sometimes it's pretty hard to judge the spawn flips, which is why I have the UAV on. However, if I'm playing on a map which is pretty easy to read and the game funnels the enemies to you, such as Raid, such as Grind, some of those types of maps, I would reuse the Hellstorm instead of the UAV because it's pretty easy to read where they're going to spawn at. But anyways, in today's topic, we're going to talk about my perfect Call of Duty. Like, if I could design my own Call of Duty, what would I do it? You know, Call of Duty Ghosts is going to be announced here in a few days. And although they're only going over the single player, they're not going to talk about multiplayer. At least I don't think they will. It just got me thinking, like, man, if I was the one designing these Call of Duties, what would I do? I'd focus on a couple key things. There's probably like 6 or 7 things that I would really focus on. The first being the most important, which to me is going to be the replay value. Obviously, you're not going to have a good game if nobody wants to keep coming back to it. And I think that the way that you create the best replay value is through the level up system. MW, I always go back to MW2 as an example because I just feel like it was such a great game that was just, unfortunately hit by a lot of flaws with the explosives. Otherwise, it would probably be still to this day the best Call of Duty ever created. And it just had a great replay value because of the weapon choice. All the guns were usable, all of them were fun to use, and the maps were great. But the biggest thing was the level up system of MW2. The headshot system, you always had to, something to go for. You always leveling up all your guns to autumn camo, or I forgot what it was called in that game, but I don't know. I think that's really good. I didn't like Black Ops 1 level up system because once you unlocked a gun, you could just pick whatever it is that you wanted out of the weapons. Like if you just wanted silencer right away, you could get that. If you wanted extended mag, you could get that. You didn't have to use your gun, and you didn't have to earn your. You did not have to earn your attachments. So I think Black Ops 2 did a good job of setting that example. You have to we had to go back to earning our stuff to get the unlocks. The next thing I would focus on is the matchmaking. Black Ops 2, in my opinion, really failed off the start with that whole skill-based matchmaking stuff. And although they say like, oh, it's the same matchmaking that every Call of Duty's had, no, it hasn't. We all remember the days where we were getting into lobbies and it was nothing but sweat hards. And a sweat hard is basically a dude sweating his ass off while he's trying hard. So we all remember those days. I do think that they toned it down quite a bit, but yeah, definitely focus on the matchmaking. Just match players by connection and their location. Just put people in California with players that play Call of Duty in California. Don't match them up. Try not to match them up with dudes that are living in New York. That's how connections are bad, and that's why people complain about the connection. Honestly, if you run best, most of the time you're going to be on a pretty decent connection with the hit detection. So anyways, next thing I would do, and I'm going to go over these really quick because the gameplay is winding down. The next thing I would do is I'd have less handicapping BS. What that means is have more emphasis on skill. Don't have things like death streaks. Don't have perks such as second chance. Things that have ruined past Call of Duties. They've put things into the game. Support kill streaks with stealth bombers and EMPs, not requiring any type of streak to go on before you get those. Don't put things like that in the game. Make it so that you have to earn everything you get, and you have to be good at the game to perform good. Another thing I would do is focus on the map design. No camping overlooks. MW3 was plagued by that. Black Ops 2 is also plagued by that. The problem with that is there's just no flanks. There needs to be more flanks. There needs to be I think there needs to be 4-way passages. And what I mean by that is a map like Plaza. There's a left side, there's a right side, and then there's a middle that you can run up. And if someone is camping in those areas, you're basically funneling into them, and you have no way of going around. So you need that 4th passage. For example, think of Modern Warfare 2, the map Rundown. There was a middle right over the bridge, there was a left, and there was a right. However, it was hard to sit there and camp and shut someone down. Yeah, people would camp the bridge, but guess what? You could run under the bridges to get from one side, the left side, to the right side, and it made it really unpredictable and easy for people to rush around. That was a great rushing map. Also, less small maps. I really like the medium-sized maps. I don't like the really tiny maps like the nuke towns and things of that nature. Also, just more maps overall. I think if we had more maps in the Call of Duties, it would get less repetitive, and that also adds to the replay value. Really quick here, I'm gonna go over these things real fast. No VSAT, no all-seeing eye. Weapons, they gotta have good balance, such as I think Black Ops 1 had a great weapon balance. Snipers need sway, no quick draw, no aim assist on the snipers. Shotguns, just like Black Ops 1, do not make them ridiculous like MW3. Also, Ghost has to always be invisible. I don't like this whole thing of Ghost shows up if you're sitting still. The way you balance it, however, is not by making it show up on the radar after 1 or 2 seconds. Make it so it's in a tier with stopping power, with Juggernaut basically being a little more health. It's from the older Call of Duties. And also Flak Jacket. So if you want to be invisible, guess what? You're going to leave yourself vulnerable to explosives. You're going to have less damage on your bullets, and also you have the inability to add more health. I'd also make it so the EMP grenade is stopped by Tactical Mask. You don't need like some random perk to stop that. The way you do that is you balance Tactical Mask by adding a Quick Draw perk in the same tier and also a Toughness perk. I don't like the fact that Toughness, it is balanced by Scavenger, but really you don't really need Scavenger because you can pick up guns unless you're like an upper tier player who's going for gameplays. There's absolutely no reason to run Scavenger. I personally don't think so. Also, another thing that I want to say is that there should be 3-tier score streaks. I liked MW3 3-tier. I like the support. However, no killing streaks, no killing kill streaks, except maybe a sentry gun. Make it easy for those players to get support, getting those kill streaks by playing the objective, and then make an assault tier where you only get streaks from your gun. You do not get streaks from playing the objective with assault, and those are going to be the big streaks. Everything that's really damaging, the high-powered, lightning strikes, the choppers, and the dogs and all that stuff. Also make it so it does not cycle. So if you call in a kill streak, it's not going to build you up into another set of kill streaks. And then the 3rd tier obviously would be Specialists. I definitely think Specialists should return. Just imagine how awesome it would be to have somebody running around with stopping power and Juggernaut and Ghost and Flak Jacket. I just think that would be absolutely ridiculous. The only thing I would change there would be to take off the speed bonus. I think if you take off that speed bonus, it'll make things a lot fair. It also probably would also improve the hit detection because you won't have guys sprinting at Usain Bolt speed running through bullets. So that's what I would do with the score streaks. And that's pretty much it for my perfect Call of Duty, guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If you could build your own Call of Duty, what do you think would be one of the biggest factors? Barring connection, because there's honestly no way to fix the connection, guys. It's peer-to-peer connection. We do not have dedicated servers. I wish they could get dedicated servers, but it is what it is. But yeah, my philosophy is less is more. Keep it simple. I really hope Call of Duty Ghosts is simple and back to basics, and they really create an emphasis on the map design. I'll catch you guys next video. You guys got to check out my next video, by the way. It's going to be up tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. I'm out, y'all. Peace.